Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. As you can see right here, we have the last of the Master Replica Group products here to look at, and it is, as you can also see, another Dinorama. The last Dinorama we had was the Tyrannosaur embryo, and today we are going to take a look at the Pachycephalosaurus, and if it is exactly what I think it is, I'm super excited to see it, so let's get it out of the box. So, just like the others, we get another one of these sheets telling us all about their other replicas that they do have for sale. I do want to point out right now, look at this incredible Tyrannosaurus Rex Skull. You can get skull replicas in full scale, half scale, and quarter scale. I could not even begin to fathom how incredible a full scale Tyrannosaurus Rex Skull would be to have in a collection, but man, does their skull right there look incredibly nice. And then down here, it gives you another quick little shot here of some others. You got a T-Rex claw and a trilobite fossil, which also look beyond words beautiful. And then on the back, you can see there is a fossil fish, a trilobite in stone, an Allosaurus claw, which we actually just recently looked at. You've also got the Velociraptor claw and a Megalodon tooth, a broken T-Rex tooth, which is exactly what we already looked at, and the trilobite, which is super cool. And then down here, as far as the Dinoramas go, which I am a huge fan of as well, we of course looked at the absolutely mind-blowing Titanosaur embryo. You also have, and this is one thing that I think is just so cool about Master Replica compared to other companies that create dinosaur models, is they have these very cool sleeping dinoramas. So you can see there is the Coelophysis, which includes two Coelophysis, the Utah Raptor embryo, which I had stated in the Titanosaur embryo that I would love to see in person, because look, that looks just as insanely nice as the Titanosaur. You've also got a Velociraptor sleeping. You've got the Apatosaurus, which also looks incredibly nice, the Pachycephalosaurus, which is exactly who we're about to look at, and a Protoceratops. So they have just tons of amazing looking models. We also get with this the Dinorama Certificate of Authenticity, just like we had with the Titanosaur. So I do like to see this. Very, very cool. You can actually see the image there in the background of this, of the Utah Raptor embryo, so that's pretty nifty right there. And then we have the actual model itself. And look at how insanely mind-blowingly beautiful that is right away at first glance. It again is just so insanely cool and looks to me like a real sleeping or relaxing Pachycephalosaurus. It really has that appearance, and the coloration of it is so realistic looking that it really does look quite real from this distance. It's kind of creeping me out. I'm almost expecting the Pachycephalosaurus to jump up and run away. But regardless, it really, really looks beautiful. So let's get a closer look at it. So starting up at the head sculpt, you can see how insanely high detailed and just in general beautifully painted it is. It really looks great. Every one of the little bumps on the Pachycephalosaurus's head are all very beautifully painted and really look fantastic. And then you come down here into the face area. You can see the beak is very nicely sculpted and painted. The nostrils are really beautiful as well. And there are many different tones of coloration all throughout the entire sculpt of this dinosaur. You can see as you move down the neck that the neck has some nice wrinkling going on, many different skin folds and creases in the skin. You can also see the ear right there behind the eye is beautifully sculpted, and the eye itself is actually really nicely painted with a blackish coloration, which leads me to believe that our Pachycephalosaurus is not sleeping, quite obviously. He's wide awake, but he's just relaxing, and that's also very cool. This entire thing is something you just don't see people do. How often do you ever see dinosaur models of dinosaurs sleeping? That is just something that is like so different than everyone else, and I think that's one of the reasons I'm so appealed by this, and I think it's just so incredibly cool to see. And then if you look here, you can see the shoulder blade is really beautifully protruding from the skin. You can come down into the arms there that are just nice and relaxing there on the rocks. Some nice little skin folds. Even the detailing on the underside of the Pachycephalosaurus is really beautiful and looks very realistic. And again, the paint job on this just makes it look completely 100% real. Nice sculpting of the very fine skin texture all over the place. And then you can get back here into the hip bone. You can see the hip bone elaborated from the skin a little bit there. Nice musculature there in the thigh. And then as we move down, you can see the kneecaps. The legs are beautifully sculpted in a very relaxed position. Nice calf muscles as well. And then you get down into the feet. Look how incredibly nice the feet are sculpted, especially with the very fine detailing of the skin texture. And even the top of the feet look great. The nails also look very, very nice. And then as you come back here, you can again take note of the cloaca, which is just insanely realistic looking as well. Very nice skin texture as we run out the length of the tail. And then it comes to a nice curve over top of a rock. And even the stone, which would be the base that the dinosaur is laying on, really looks insanely realistic. There are so many different color tones included in that as well, and the actual sculpting of the stone just generally looks like real rock. It feels to me like they pretty much just took a scene straight out of time, froze it, and then put it in model form for us to look at here. The overall weight isn't very heavy either. I mean, it's a nice weight, but it's not like overly heavy, but it without question looks completely realistic. Look at how many colors are included as far as the overall tones of the rock and the insane sculpt work on the rocks as well. It is just absolutely mind-blowing, just like the Tyrannosaur embryo was. This is such a beautiful and very striking set. And then if we look on the underside, again, Dinorama's Pachycephalosaurus, and it also has this very nice soft underside so that it doesn't damage whatever you put it on. This is without question completely beautiful. As far as the size goes on the Pachycephalosaurus, you're looking at about 8 inches in length, or about 20 centimeters for the entire set. That's including the rock. And for a width, I'd say you're looking at about 5 inches, or about 12.5 centimeters, somewhere in that area. For a size comparison, there is the Papo T-Rex, and he is quite obviously towering over this laying down, relaxing Pachycephalosaurus. But you cannot lie to us, Papo Rex, because if you were out in the wild, you would never in a million years spot that Pachycephalosaurus down there. Regardless, however, you can see that the Pachycephalosaurus model is a very good size. Really, honestly, a beautiful size for this sort of diorama, or dinorama, as they say. And our Papo Rex here is helping to give us an idea of the size of the figure. One thing that I do notice about these replicas is the fact that the dinosaurs are kind of the same color or a similar color to what you actually see on the rocks. It's not exactly the same color, as they do have their own color individually, but it's a very similar color, and I actually think that is such a very cool little extra bit of realism that you probably may not even notice, because the fact is, I think it's those colors that are chosen specifically for where they're laying, because the dinosaur is relaxing and trying to, I guess, take a nap, and it's going to have to find somewhere that it matches in with the background a good bit. And for the colors to be so similar to each other, that 1000% makes sense to me, because it's going to want to find somewhere that it's just kind of going to mesh into the background, and a predator walking by isn't going to take notice of it, because honestly, if you were out in the woods and you saw this, you probably wouldn't really take note of that Pachycephalosaurus just kind of chilling in that area. So the way that they've chosen to paint these models is such a realistic idea, and overall just makes the entire set so much more incredible to me. The realism of these is just off the charts. Of course, the sculpt work of the actual detailing of the dinosaur is again 100% incredible. There is just so much sculpt and detail gone into it, including the skin texture just looking so extremely realistic. All the movement of the dinosaur for the position it's laying in is beautifully portrayed in the sculpt. They have not missed a single detail, in my opinion, anywhere. And the actual sculpting of the rock that the Pachycephalosaurus is laying on is just as beautiful, in my opinion, as the actual Pachycephalosaurus itself. Everything looks so extremely real that it really, as I said before, looks like they just took a snapshot out of time and then just brought it to life here for us to own in model form. They have done such an absolutely incredible job everywhere on this figure that it is without question a pure work of art. just like all the other 3 models that we reviewed from them. This is again just mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing how beautiful this is. I love the fact that they also have a group of dinosaurs, or dinoramas as they call them, with all the dinosaurs relaxing or sleeping, because it's something that's so different than the usual model that you would get from a company. I can't think of anybody else that does this, so Master Replica Group should be 100% given props for such an interesting idea and such a very interesting line of dinosaur figures. It is so incredibly cool that they've chosen to do this. And the overall appearance, again, like I said, looks 100% real. It really looks like a living, breathing dinosaur just relaxing on a rock right here in front of me. So if you want to buy this absolutely beautiful Pachycephalosaurus, I will link you in the description to Master Replica Group's website, where you can purchase this guy for yourself. Again, another surefire recommendation from me. The entire box full of replicas that I have here from Master Replica Group are all off the charts beautiful, and I'm quite positive that that same sentiment will go toward every other replica that they have in their collection. So you're pretty much safe and good to go when it comes to purchasing anything from them, and you can expect the highest of quality in return, because that is exactly what I have here with all 4 of these incredible dinosaur replicas. So go ahead, head on over to the Master Replica Group's website, purchase this incredible Pachycephalosaurus, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.